speaking of Nipsies, Jim, this is the time of year where they come out in the press box.
Everywhere.
It's a Nypville down there, I'm telling you.
It's just... We don't see them all year, and then suddenly they drift in. It's just too funny.
Come from everywhere, and they put on weird kit.
Jim's discovered someone who's wearing red jeans. He doesn't like it.
He had red, sort of strange yellow styling last week. I know,
canary yellow.
No idea who that is.
Jim doesn't know anyone, but he just finds people at this time of year who are wearing questionable clothing.
That is true. That I don't know anyone.
Some Nipsey called Bob Chamka. He's infiltrated the Wolfpack. I think he's a plant from one of the dead stations.
What's he trying to say?
He doesn't get it. Oh, it's just about having Spud here and how he wants chief, because he's a big fan of my work as well. But Bob Chamark, you can ship off.
You're shipping him off.
Ship off back to maybe K-Rock or one of those Nipsey stations.
Yeah, off you go.
But they're loving Spud's work, so it's bloody good to hear.
Those other stations aren't plugged in, mate, so don't worry about it.
Well, Spud missed the first. Let's be honest, you were missing when we come back on here. You're out there.
Mate,
what are you doing?
What are you doing, Spud?
What are you doing?
You were out working the room.
I wasn't.
You were. I
What
saw
are you
you
doing,
working
Spud?
the room out there.
With the man in the red
I'll
jeans.
tell you what, there's a line-up to get a coffee like you wouldn't
This
believe.
is what we
It's
talk
like,
about.
But when I walked through, it was like Moses, the parting of the Red Sea. They just sort of got away, like the Dick Tracy cartoon when the car went through. But no, there's that many people in there that haven't got media badges. We need to get Patrick Keane on this. It's not good enough.
Patrick Keane might still be reeling
What
from
Damien
Hardwick's presence.
Something moron he got described.
Come on,
Which is
Paddy. Little Paddy wouldn't hurt a fly.
A fair short back and sides.
Poor old Patrick.
Took it well, Dimmer.
Oh, didn't he?
Mind you, Purple, you know much more about that space than any of us. If you tell the assembled masses to turn their phone off, you want to make sure your own phone's off, I reckon.
You might be able to get away with it once on a weekend, Jim, but not twice. But it was the second time, I hear. So one of the very good guys, Patrick.
Oh, no, he's a beauty.
Dimmer gave it to him last week.
Yeah, and the fact that it was just allowed to go through to the keeper, there was no police explaining.
No, Mark Evans has always nothing to see here. No problems. You can say whatever you like about our officials.
Pretty senior AFL official just being branded a moron.
with a live mic. That's okay, though. Do whatever you want.
Come on, Paddy.
What would you have to say to get a fine?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got
Is there history between he and Damien Hardwick? Because he had a crack early, didn't he? He said, "Good to see you, Patrick. Haven't seen you for 22 weeks."
Not that I believe Patrick's aware of. No, there's no.
Wouldn't it have been great if Patrick had turned around and said, "Listen, champ, in the words of Jim's favourite story, we'll ask the questions. You just shut the start answering them."
Over to you, Damien. How explain how the previous 2 hours unfolded.
So 3 in a row, Dimmer. How you feeling?
I'll get it started.
Well, as I understand it, in Patrick's defence, which Dimmer maybe did or did not know, he doesn't go to any of the home and away presses and only turns up in the finals. Is that right?
As a rule,
because they're AFL run, not club run.
They're AFL events, so the AFL does control the press conference. But again, Patrick's recollection is that he was at a couple of Richmond games at some stage of this year. I mean, he goes to 4 or 5 some rounds.
Which games were he at? Was he at?
He's got a recollection of being at some Richmond
sounds
games.
like you're sticking up for him. Which games?
But he's not going to remember the games. How's Purple going to know which games he turned
Well,
up
I
to?
just reckon he's looking after Patrick, that's all.
Well, he might be, Spud, but he's saying he's got a recollection of going to some. He's not going to remember which ones.
Well, I need to know. I reckon Paddy might be pulling our legs.
Spud's got a weirdness about him.
You're different on a Friday night.
He went out into the media scrum out there, and he's come back. He was working the room.
No, I wasn't, Garry.
What are you up to? What are you up to?
You've been up to Mildura during the week?
Yeah. No, that was a couple of weeks ago.
So, where are you at, Spud?
I'm sitting right here talking to you and the listeners.
Well, how's Damo going to know which games of Richmond this year Patrick Keane went
I
to?
just thought he was looking after Patrick. I don't think Patrick's been to any Richmond games.
It actually doesn't matter if he has or he hasn't.
Yeah, I know.
His recollection is that he has. It's hardly a big part of his story.
Yeah.
No, I know that.
And by the way, it's not a hanging offence.
No, it's not.
Either,
No, it's not.
No.
Well,
Patrick.
Well, you don't, Jim. It's not.
I love Paddy.
It's not, but it's not ideal.
No, it's not ideal, but it's not a hanging offence.
Oh, well, not from us, because we're pretty
We
liberal.
like it. That's it. I thought it was a Triple M response to something, to be honest.
I thought it was very, very Triple M, but I don't know if the rest of them are as liberal.
Getting any more, guys?
What?
No, I was just going to say, getting back to Paddy, I've just got one more thing for Paddy.
Yes, go.
He's you better get that new award up for next Wednesday night.
What award?
Best interview. I'm led to believe there's no award for the best interview. Now, I said to Patrick,
how much run you've had?
Well, Eric Benner liked it.
What about your man, Warrior?
Yeah.
You got him.
You got him.
Lucky
I
I
got him
put the
in time.
kibosh on him.
It was the last interview he did that was not of a political nature.
He was going all right till you got him.
Apparently Malcolm Turnbull heard that interview. Said,
Time
we
to
cannot put up with this bloke for one more.
He's officially lost it. I'm challenging.
So I'll definitely win it now because that was in the running. That interview. But as soon as he's out, old budgie smuggler, he's
Julie
done.
Bishop changed teams too
Yeah,
on the back of that shit.
That one went around Canberra and they just said, we can't put up with any more of this. I'll also send an all points bulletin to anyone who's thinking about inviting Garry to anything. It's Garry with 2 R's and there's no S on the end of his surname purple. If either of those appear in the invitation,
Doesn't even open it, does he?
not only does he not RSVP, he doesn't even open the envelope. And that is 100% true.
I've tried to ask him a few times, but he doesn't talk about it. Is it the double R worse than the S on the end of the
I think
surname?
the S on the end is...
That's the one. That's
the
worse.
It's equally as bad.
And then if there's no double R... Honestly...
What about the double banger? What happens then?
They arrive at the footy show. We obviously have the meeting on Tuesday, and they get handed out by some of the beautiful staff. And so you end up with 2 or 3. Yes, has a look at them. And if they're not correct, there's a round brown file just here where we stand, and they go straight in purple.
Come on.
Brownlow invites.
Straight into the bin.
All Australian invitation.
Out of principle.
In 2008,
Oh,
that's the
is
night.
that not another
another one.
Garry,
That's the second
how
one
many-
in 4 weeks.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's knackered.
No,
It's absolutely
Oh,
knackered.
that's all
guys.
right.
It's the 23rd since 2011.
Sure, I can sit on this one.
Poor old Chua.
Or Big Nose or Warrior. One of them.